Welcome to the Tennis Warehouse racket review of the Head Gravity Pro 2025. Updated with a glossy new paint job and Auxetic 2, the Gravity Pro is the thinnest and heaviest member of the Gravity family. With a stiffness rating under 60 and a dense 18x20 string pattern in this 100 square inch racket, we found outstanding control and even better feel and forgiveness compared to the generation that came before it. First things first, the cosmetics of this updated Gravity are amazing. I'm loving the glossy paint and that retro vibe. For me, the Gravity has not always been my favorite racket in Head's lineup. I think that's often because it does have that thin beam paired with that more flexible feel and that tighter string pattern. However, recently I have been hitting a modded up Gravity Pro, the previous version, and I've really been enjoying it at that 335 plus swing weight. And I was really excited to hit this update and see how that was going to compare. Unfortunately for me and my game, this racket is very low powered, and I felt like I had to work so hard to win points with this racket. The feel is absolutely amazing. My favorite place to use it was at the net because I did feel super in command of my volleys and everything felt amazing. But as you guys know, I do tend to gravitate, no pun intended, towards those stiffer rackets. And this update definitely is loaded with feel and precision and all the things that I probably should be playing, but in my heart of hearts, I need that stiff, more powerful racket. So I'm having a little bit more fun to put my points away in 3 balls or less. Really awesome racket though, and I know the rest of the playtest team loved it for all of those reasons, but just not the right one for me.
Once you get past the beautiful cosmetic of this new Head Gravity Pro 2025, you get down to the nuts and bolts of the performance. I've been a fan of the Gravity line for quite some time. I believe this is the 4th iteration of the Gravity Pro, and this one really fit my game better than all that came before it. All of them have had the 20mm beam, had kind of a high swing weight, somewhere in the high 320s, maybe even 330 range. This one is sub 330 with about a 7-point headlight balance. It really worked out well for my game. In addition, Michelle did make mention that it is a pretty flexible racket. I believe the RA was coming in around 59 as opposed to the last iteration, 63. For whatever reason, this racket really gave me a soft feel but a crisp response. And I would agree that you weren't getting a ton of energy return, but between the mass, swing weight, and the rest of it, I got plenty of shot depth without a lot of effort to generate it. And although there is an 18-20 pattern paired with an edgy string, I was really able to get a great bite on the ball, so it was very topspin friendly, and as expected, it dug in nicely on my backhand slice. Ball just kind of sinks in and sits there, and I can keep it low with a decent amount of velocity and a lot of backspin on it. So just overall, this is a racket that I'm strongly considering switching to from my current favorite Gravity MP XL. Just a great all-court racket anywhere in the court for my game.
Coming into this playtest, I've been playing a lot with a variety of Head rackets lately, including the Gravity Tour, also in this new line update with the 98 1619. Been playing a lot with the Prestige Pro 1619. So some really good control and feel type frames from Head. This one did not disappoint either. I've tested the previous versions of the Gravity Pro, and I would say if you're fans of those, you should love this one. Specs didn't change a whole lot, maybe a little lower in the flex, but really wasn't all that noticeable. Still comfortable, but I think this glossy paint job, one of the first times they've done it on the Gravity, gives it a crisp, nice clean feel, responsive, and very predictable. Didn't feel too soft or wobbly like you'll notice with some really low flex rackets. It still felt solid and stable from the baseline and up at net. The 100 square inch head size and sort of the rounder profile of the head, I think it's a really good baseliners racket. And for me, with the 18-20 string pattern, even though it's 100, I still got great control, pretty good precision, maybe not as much precision as the Prestige, which is very pinpoint, but I love this racket on my two-handed backhand. Also, the 18-20 felt great on the slice and really good on flatter shots, like my flat serve. And from the baseline, I'm no Andre Rublev, but I did like to step in and try to hit the ball flatter with the 18-20 pattern. So overall, a really good feeling frame. I love the cosmetic. It's a really tough one for me between this and the Tour, but I think on faster surfaces, I like this one, and maybe on a slower court, like a slower hard court, or if I got to play on clay, I would maybe go with the Tour. So great frame. Us testers here in California strung up the Gravity Pro with Lynx Tour 17 at 50 pounds. Now we're gonna pass it off to Jofi and see how it worked out for that sweet one-handed backhand.
Thanks, Troy. Having tested the new Head Gravity Pro, I can definitely see where this racket's appeal is. I will say that when I started playtesting it, I definitely needed a bit of adjustment time to get used to it and to really be able to bring out the most of this frame. It became very obvious to me very fast that the racket is extremely low powered, so I really had to work to get my shots beyond the service line. So that was just something I needed to get adjusted to. But at the same time, I will say I did love this because I had the sensation that I could hit the balls as hard as I want and they would still end in court, which was a super fun, aggressive playing style I'm not necessarily always used to, but I definitely enjoyed. The launch angle of this racket is very low, so that also required a bit of an adjustment time for me, as I prefer rackets that really help me with generating that spin I like. So here I just had to be a bit more mindful of that lower launch angle. I actually enjoyed it a lot on my backhand slices when I felt like I could keep the balls very nice and low on court. I also noticed that the racket performed the best when I was taking bigger cuts on the ball, so kind of preparing my racket early and just swinging through the ball instead of my shorter shots that I like to do. And sometimes I prefer to take the balls a bit on the rise. I did notice a bit of instability at those times with this frame, so I prefer to take bigger swings at the ball, like I mentioned. However, when I hit the ball just kind of flat and just went all out and hit as hard as I could, I really loved the sensation the racket provided me with. I also loved the sensation of control and precision I was getting from this frame, even when I was hitting very aggressive on court. So that was just a really enjoyable hitting experience for me. All in all, if you love the Head Gravity Pro line, this racket will not let you down. Thanks for watching. We strung up this Head Gravity Pro with Head Lynx Tour at around 52 pounds. For more information on this racket or any others, please go check out Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.